Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Archaeology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. Hampi is very important, not only from those who follow religion but also for those who follow history and for also those who want to know why India was called as the most prosperous country in the world, why Vijayanagar was called as the richest town, richer than Rome at its time, that is in 15th century. So for that it has to meet certain criteria. It has to have a biggest trading center. It was the biggest trading center in Asia as far as horses, diamonds, gold, silver are concerned. Not only that, it was also a biggest market for the weapons, then also for those who want to sell their horses, then the camels, believe it, camel I said, even camels were sold here, and the city was so prosperous that it had a supermarket of diamonds, silver and gold separately, horse market separately, so also a market of pan supari, that was also a separate big market having stalls, hundreds of stalls were there. Now all these things were attracting many foreign visitors. Is it that the only place for trading? No, it was also a historical place. A lot of events mentioned in Puranas and Ramayanas have occurred here. This was a Kishkinda in Puranas, in Ramayana. It was the birthplace of Lord Hanumana. It was a kingdom of Vali and Sugriva's, and Prabhu Ramachandra has stayed here while going to Sri Lanka for a couple of days. He has worshipped here Shiva, whose temple is still there, and also there are many other architectural, iconological, temple designing point of view, like a Vittala temple which has got a musical pillar. Here there are plates which can sing. After Vittala temple, you can also see big Gopuram that was there in the Hampi. Big Gopuram, singing pillars of Vittala, and also royal enclosures. Now, royal enclosures means it was a king's palace and a place for activity at that time. You can see ruins, but that can give you how much gorgeous it would have been. We have heard of stories of Telani Ram and Krishna Dev Raya, which has occurred here. Now here there are big elephant stables, which means that they have large number of elephants with them. They were having processions of horses, elephants there in front of stable. Then they have a large zanana, which was including a lotus palace. Then also there is Queen's Bath, summer palaces. Their queens were staying absolutely in comfort. And what kings were doing? Every day morning they were going for war exercises. That was in front of elephant stable, where they had teachers right from Mongolia. So they are learning all arts of war here. And you can also see certain pushpakaranis, that is wells, the designing of which is at such a geometry and with such a preciseness that you will be just stunned looking at it. And believe it, it was constructed in a very short time. Go anywhere in the town, you will find a Gopuram of Virupaksha temple. Go anywhere in town, you will see hills of the Matinga hills, then Hanuman birthplace, that is Anjanadri hills. So also many temples, many supermarkets. So do visit Hampi after a brief idea. Main aim of our series is to give you a brief idea about multiple monuments. However, that is not possible to cover in one lecture. Therefore, we have got multiple lectures. Stay tuned to us, see our multiple videos, subscribe to us and enjoy the wealth of knowledge and know why India was the most powerful, why Vijayanagara Samrajya was most powerful, why it was the largest supermarket, why it was attracting tourists all throughout, and what was the technological advances. Let's get going to each topic. Today's topic is about Hampi. Hampi is one of the world famous site in India, and it is not only popular in India but also it is popular amongst the Westerners. The reason is the rich culture and rich architecture of this town. So today we are going to see in detail Vittala temple, in that particularly stone chariot. The topic is very vast. Vittala temple topic is very vast. We are divided into Vittala temple, then the stone chariot, that is the Garuda, then Vittala supermarket and Sabha Mandapa. These are different videos. In this video, we are going to see a stone chariot. Now, what is the peculiarity of Vijayanagara architecture, if you ask me? They are the first people to introduce a chariot or a enclosed environment, mandapam, for vehicles other than Nandi. Most of the temple which we are seeing have got a mandapam, that is Nandi mandapam, but it is never with a wheels or chariots. This is the first time when Vijayanagara introduced a covered shelter or mandapam for vehicle of Lord Vishnu, that is Garuda. So this is a Garuda chariot, and once upon a time they say it was pulled by the people, because its wheels, we can still say they are rotating. But as we think this is of one stone is not a fact. We'll come to it in a very short time when we are going in details of the chariot. In early 1520, Krishna Deva Raya commissioned a stone chariot on his return from the successful campaign of Orissa. Now, Odisha has given two good things to the Vijayanagara Empire. One thing is the idea of chariot to the vehicles, that is Garuda chariot. And second was the elephants. The quality of elephant in Odisha were excellent. So Vijayanagara was honored with a lot of elephants from that side. And third is Lord Krishna, which was brought by Krishna Deva Raya here, and he installed. So these were the real benefits of Vijayanagara got after the Odisha conquer. Now today the stone chariot is amongst the most iconic heritage structures of India. Therefore, when our government decided to have something on the notes which will be India's iconic, then they decided in 2017 that they will have this chariot over the 50 rupees notes. Now we are going to see it when we will be seeing the photographs. Now the wooden chariots or rathas in Karnataka are to that extent in South India and North India, at both places it is there. They are pulled during the festival, and we are aware how large they can be. They can be up to the 3-storage building, and they are pulled by the people. So wooden chariot, old concept, a known concept, but for the first time here we introduced a stone chariot. Then this traditionally reached its peak during the region of Vijayanagara for two things. They had a lot of prosperity and they had peace. This capital city hosted grand Rathotsavas, that is chariot festival, at each of its major temples, that we have also seen when we are seeing the where this thing we have seen, that was in Aiholi. We have seen a big chariot, and we have told that time that it is pulled by the people. Now in 1520, this chariot was commissioned, then it was used for the festival. It was a very popular custom in Karnataka that chariots are pulled. Then the stone chariot originally carried an idol of Garuda, the Vahana vehicle of a Vittala or Vishnu we can call, who is the main preceding deity of this temple. The stone chariot inside the Vittala temple complex has designed a style that closely follows the main shrine and Rangamandapas at most of the places. The designing is same, but the applications are different. Each of the 4 wheels in a monolith is free of rotate on its free axis from rest of the structures. So the base is different. It has got an axis, then there are wheels to it, the wheels can rotate. A common misconception that it is a monolith, but it's not a fact. It has got a multiple, the base is different, and the above structure is made up of stones, but of different stones, not a one stone. It is a very complex stack of interlocking blocks that makes the chariots and the designs. On the top of the surviving structure appears to be flat. Now on closer look, one can notice that there was a pyramidal structure made up of brick and mortar in the typical Dravidian style. We can call this as Vimana. Vimana when it is South Indian, Shikhara when it is North Indian. There is a difference. We discussed it in some other lecture. It has 3 talas or rows you can call, with alternating Shila and Puta shrines. They are alternate to each other and they make that as a 3-tier, 3 rows. Now one more careful examination of the front side. When we are going to see photograph, we'll see it in more detail. That is the side facing the shrine, it faces the Vittala temple. We can see that the elephants are detached from the main structure. So the pulling elephant and main structure are different, and that the part still attached to the structure seems to have carvings of a hind legs and tail of a horse. So earlier it was pulled by the horses, now it is by the elephant. The original structure was driven by a pair of horses instead of elephant, but subsequently because the horses were not there, they have replaced it with the elephants. This makes sense because the 16th century Vijayanagara horses were the central in all the ceremonies. All processions were taking part, all rituals they were taking part, and king and royal families were moving on it. The stone chariot was a symbol of Krishna Deva Raya's patronage and offering to Vittala his best possible art and culture, and his idols was given a present by Krishna Deva Raya in the form of a chariot. And this chariot was made up of stones, and that was for the Garuda, that is a vehicle of Lord Vishnu, and the elephant were replaced in place of horse in subsequent days, maybe around last year or so. Let's have a look at it. Now this is the outside portion of Vittala Super Complex. This we have covered extensively in our lecture covering about supermarkets. This was once upon a market for horses, and you can see the sculptures. The horses were coming from far away, from Persia, from Arabia. People were bringing horses, they were getting good market here, and this had more than 1,000 stalls, so 1 kilometer long. Now this is a chariot which we are seeing, and look at the front of it. The elephants, they are looking at the main shrine, that is of the Vittala. But if you see very carefully, we'll see it in some other photo which taken from side. Another interesting thing here, can you see a ladder? The ladders in the temple are at 2 places only. Where else we have seen it? At Ladkhan temple and here. So it is another style of South Indian style. Now here you can very carefully see, you can see Garuda inside. Garuda is the vehicle of Vishnu. Now here if you can see, you can clearly see the elephants are detached from the chariot, and some portion of and the hind portion of the horses is also seen here. Now this we are seeing from the side. Look at the beautiful carvings. The vehicle offered to a vehicle. The Garuda was vehicle. Now interesting part is every god is given different vehicles. Now if you want to see in a one temple all these things, that is seen in Khidrapur, Maharashtra. When you can go into the Swarga Mandapam and look at the ceiling, there is an opening, and around that you will see all the deities with their vehicles. So this is the Vittala temple which is in front of it. These are the musical pillars. Now we can appreciate that the structures in two, one thing is in stone and second is also in bricks. This is a part of chariot because it is in front of it, and we have to give you orientation how the things exactly are, but all these things are covered separately in a different video. That is the VITTALA temple. We have separate video for that. Now let's come back to the chariot from the side. You can see Gopuram also, which is partially broken. Now here we are seeing a chariot from side. We are giving you three-dimensional view from all sides. You can appreciate it. You can see what are the surrounding structure. There is Gopuram, there is Sabha Mandapam, there is VITTALA temple, there is open space around, and all these things can be appreciated in this photo. Now this is what I told you. This was in 2017. The photograph was taken from here, and it has come on the 50 rupees notes, 50 rupees currency. You can see that. And with that, we are coming to the end of this short lecture. Here we have concentrated more on Garuda chariot. It was the first time when Garuda was offered a chariot. Garuda basically is a vehicle of Vishnu, but here he was honored with a chariot. Now that was a great thing which Vijayanagara introduced, Krishna Devaraya, and we should appreciate all these things. Thank you, goodbye, and take care.